Yippee! Brandon's not here. Fuck you. We're doing Jango Fett open seasons.
Yeah. So, take us away with that little synopsis.
So
people don't get that.
Yeah, that confusion. This is a 4-issue, vaguely canon origin story that is about. It has 2 separate timelines. First, it takes place 10 years before the events of Attack of the Clones, and that's the present of this story. And it's about Dooku selecting which bounty hunter is going to be the one that the clone army will be based on. And each issue is him learning a story from Jango Fett's origin. So the first issue is how he was found by the... I got a little confused at some parts, I'm not going to lie. I was like, who's doing what? I got a little bit confused when some of the Mandalorians were wearing armor. I'm like, who are you? I did catch up to it.
I was reading it.
I was like, is this Vizsla? Yeah. I'm like, who the fuck is that guy? Is this what's the Jarek, or who's the
Jaster.
Cool name.
Yeah,
we got Jaster, Miles, and Vizsla and Jango. And within that, you get 4 little stories from Jango Fett's origin. And we'll go through them all one by one. My overall thoughts of the book is, I thought it was good. I liked the stories. I think the only thing I didn't like was I was like, I would have liked to see more of this. It felt like
I was surprised at how.
Yeah, it's just real quick, like boom, 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 boom. Like here's 4 quick stories from Jango Fett's life. I was like, I kind of would have liked to see a little bit more. I tried to take some notes on it. You get to
like they totally
they go very quickly. I think very early on in the book when Dooku is explaining Jango Fett to Palpatine, my note says, Palpatine says, the most dangerous men are always orphans. What did he mean by this? What is he saying about orphans?
Well, I mean, like, that's kind of like talking
about
Anakin.
I know. He's talking about Anakin. He's like, if you want someone to be a bad motherfucker, kill their parents.
He's a big Batman.
Yeah, he's a Batman enjoyer. I just love that he says it so casual. He's like, the most dangerous people are orphans. That stuck
with me too. I was like,
that's messed up. What, you saying all orphan people are evil monsters?
That is some Palpatine shit to say, Lo. I mean, like, it's very in character.
Explain to me what the fuck was going on in that first issue. So we see the foundation. Actually, I get most of it. What I don't understand was, and I'll get to that. You see the Mandalorians, and the true Mandalorians. So there's the true Mandalorians. They're led by Jaster. I'm gonna call him Casper.
Yes, yeah.
But it's Casper the Friendly Ghost is the true Mandalorians, and the ones that
he becomes a friendly ghost.
The ones that splinter off, like is in current canon, is the Death Watch, which is led by Vizsla.
Vizsla, like the House of Vizsla always has a reign over.
He wants that. He's like a supremacist. He's like a Nazi. He believes that Mandalorian is like the greatest in the galaxy. But Jaster, I think it's funny. They say that he's just like, we're just goons for hire. Which I think, and he's like, so you have Vizsla.
That's true Mandalorian culture right there.
Vizsla is like, we're gods among men.
We touch upon that in Mandalorian.
Yeah, and Jaster is like, no, we're just dudes. So there's a war, and Jaster and the Mandalorians they lose. Is my understanding? They lose and they go into hiding, and Jango's dad is a Mandalorian. Okay.
No. So like
they just get
his
found.
parents are farmers.
Yes. Okay. So that's what I was confused on.
Yeah, they get found.
So Jango, to continue the plot, now that's the one thing I was confused on. Jango is just a son of a farmer on a planet, and Jaster is hiding out on that planet.
Hey, New Hope reference.
Yeah. Jango,
farm boy.
Not Jango. Jaster is hiding out on this planet, and he meets Jango's dad, which leads to Vizsla. Who is looking for Jaster, arrives at the farm and is like, where's this mysterious stranger? And when Jango's dad won't give him up, they slaughter Jango's entire family. And he runs into the field and is found by Jaster, who leads him into a big battle against Vizsla. And what you get after this is a series of vignettes you get 3 more battles throughout Jango's life, where him and Jaster go to a battle, and Vizsla appears. My note says, Vizsla is like a funny Looney Tunes villain who always appears at the funniest moments, disheveled and screaming about revenge. At one point, he literally jumps out of a closet with a machine gun. Tries to kill Jango Fett.
Yeah, pretty much.
I loved it. Yeah. It's like a battle happens, and they're like, wait a minute, this is a trap. And then Viz like jumps out of a car, and he's like, I'm gonna fucking kill you! You're mine! I'm gonna have my fucking revenge because you fucking burned my face or something. And then he just like falls, and they leave. I mean, I'm exaggerating, but like he kind of just gets detached in like a kind of silly way, as Boba Fett does in Return of the Jedi. And then he's like, I'll get your ass later. And they end up finding him. So you get to this first battle, which shows a slightly more grown Jango who has been taken under the wing of Jaster, and they go and they're led into a trap by Vizsla. My note for that was I like the battle scene. It's very much inspired by like World War II and Vietnam kind of battle scenes, which I thought was cool to see in Star Wars because that is the foundation. We didn't. You kind of on Hoth, you did get some of those visual like iconography with like the trenches. But it was cool.
Even with like the TIE fighters, like in the World War II, like
ships and all. But it was cool seeing like it structured like that. In this battle is when when Jaster becomes Jaster the Friendly Ghost. He's killed by Vizsla, and who's the guy that betrays him?
I forgot the guy's name, but like he.
Yeah, just we don't. Do we? I don't even think we ever. Yeah, we never see him again.
Yeah, Jango basically pieced together that the guy that was a part of Jaster's group double-crossed.
Yes, in the heat of this battle.
That's the reason why he died.
Yeah, in the heat of this battle, this guy who does not have faith in Jaster anymore allows him to be killed. And when Jaster dies, he attempts to leave Jango behind. He's like, all right, I'm the new leader. And Jango shows up. He's like, no. He's like, you left Jaster to die. And the guy's like, you're right. And he just leaves, and all the Mandalorians stay with Jango.
What I will say, really cool detail that I noticed when actually reading it. So Mandalorian armor colors have different meanings in the EU. It doesn't in the Disney canon. So he has the Boba Fett color scheme.
Yeah, initially, I noticed. I thought it was cool.
So what that means, because I remember, because me and Alex, we were like huge Mando heads, like we knew all about this stuff. I know a solid amount of it still, but anyway. So that color scheme basically means like you're honoring parents or your parent. So like that's why in canon, or I guess in the EU, Boba wears those colors to honor his father, because that's what that means with like Mando culture.
And that's why Jango wears it.
And then so like that's why he wears it there. But then after Jaster dies, when we see him later, he's wearing Jaster's colors to honor him.
Okay.
And then there's some new, so like when he gets like his main armor, we'll get to that detail later. I forgot the direct meaning behind it, but it ties into like how he, we'll touch upon that.
I did like his when he gets his armor. So what happens after this is we get another moment where Vizsla attempts to kill Jango again. He leads him into a trap and jumps out of a closet with a machine gun, and he's like, I'm gonna kill your ass, and Jango leaves. And at this point, they call the fucking cops on them, which in the Star Wars universe are the Jedi.
Yeah.
So all the Jedi show up, and they just fucking smoke the Mandalorians. They killed all of them except for like Jango.
Yeah, all of them.
And then
Jango kills almost all of them.
I was like, these great noble warriors are actually useless if you attack them with anything other than a blaster. Because at first the Mandalorians shoot at them, and the Jedi are like, bing, 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 and they like kill all the Mandalorians. And Jango's like, stop shooting at them, pick up some rocks. And the Jedi are like, oh fuck, rocks? And they just like lose.
Yeah, so fun little canon thing. The reason why, at least like in the Disney / Filoni canon, why they have like the inhibitor chips is to inhibit Jango Fett's rage. So Jango, obviously from what he
hates the Jedi in
his life, that rage grows more and more, and it really contributes to the way that he fights. So like the way that he murders all those Jedi, Like I think that like obviously that core passion of him was attached to him, and they do kind of, again, it's vaguely referenced. It's not a direct reference to this comic book, but I think it's like a subconscious kind of thing. It's like, oh well, like we're lowering Jango Fett's aggression in the clones, and taking away the creative thinking part. But yeah, he smokes. Like
he kills
Jedi
like all of them basically. It's just a couple left.
No, so like he's
badass.
Yeah,
it was pretty cool.
I wish we saw him again. Like we'll talk about this a little bit later. I really like shit. I would have loved to see like an animated 03 Clone Wars style
with that.
like adaptation of this comic book. That would have been cool. Yeah, would have been perfect.
I agree. So after this, Jango is defeated, and he's given back to this governor, who is in line with Vizsla, who betrayed Jango, and the governor immediately turns Jango into a slave. And my last funny note says, I know the Jedi in the prequel era were shown to have lost their way, but Obi-Wan refers to them as like noble peacekeepers. However, we see them hand Jango Fett into slavery. Why did they do this?
The Mandos. For some more lore context, I think like obviously Dooku later in the book is like
they do show that's one of the main reasons that he lost his faith in the Jedi. But I'm like, Obi-Wan's ass is like, we love them. In a historical
context.
The Jedi were great.
Yeah, I mean, like, with the prequels, they do some 1984 style, like, narrative kind of thing going on there with, like, the politics of the prequels and all that. Star Wars theory jargon. But anyway, like, with that, at the very least, what I can say is that the Jedi have a long history with the Mandalorians. They've had like religious wars.
The Mandalorians invented those like slug Thor guns, right? Just so they couldn't deflect them back. That I know that. I know that lore.
And they do reference it in the Disney canon too, of like the Mandalorian show, like the Jedi having a muddy history of the Mandalorian. So like they've always been at each other because like a Mandalorian, and again, if like. I guess another reason why like Jango was the one to take them all out. He was like Jaster's, basically like his apprentice almost, and he learned everything that like a true Mandalorian can do. Because what a Mandalorian is supposed to be in terms of like what it was established to be like in the EU, it was supposed to be like the perfect Jedi killer, like the anti-Jedi. Like it would be like rock paper scissors. A Mandalorian was supposed to be like, yeah, we smoke a Jedi type of thing. That's what they were supposed to do. Obviously, the Jedi have like the Force and shit like that. Yeah. So. A little bit unbalanced, but they're just like, well, we have guns.
Yeah, we have shotguns. You can't block them all.
Grenades. I can't block them all.
Yeah, so after the Jedi put Jango Fett into slavery, this is when
This is such a wild sentence.
This is what I'm talking about when I say this book needed to be longer. He's free in the next page. Like...
I know they say like he was a slave for a few years.
That's all it is. And then it's like there were some pirates and he busts out. Like it's like he gets his ass whooped, he gets sold into slavery, and the next page he's free. Like he escapes.
They made him a free man. It's like kill these guys.
He's like, I already am, bitch. Like, all right. I love that line because the pirates they're like help us, or no, I think it's the slavers are like help us and you'll be free. And he's like, bitch, I am free, and he just kills them and leaves. He returns to the governor who betrayed him. And takes back his armor, and he hunts down. This moment I thought was actually the coolest part of the book. He chases down Vizsla's ship and shoots at it to disable the engines. And they're like, "Oh, it fired a missile. Like our systems are saying that the ship attacking us fired a missile. It's not a missile. He's flying at them through space with the jetpack, and he crashes through the window and fucking has a fight with Vizsla. That part was fucking sick. I thought that was real cool. That was sick, yeah. He fucking kills Vizsla. He kills the governor, and then we return to the present where he's arranging the final agreements with Count Dooku to become the clone template, for the clone army. And I like that he poisons. I really like the dynamic at the.
I saw
at this.
I will say the one thing what caught me off guard was, like you said, that he poisons Dooku. And it goes over for a few pages. It's like, yeah, I poisoned you.
And Dooku's like, tell me a story.
And Dooku's like, oh no, yeah, tell me a story. And then at the end of the story, he's like, yeah, anyway, I thought that was sick. I thought that was awesome. I thought that was cool, but I was just like, I had to like reread it. I was like, wait, what the fuck did he do? Like,
I thought that was sick because he let Jango think he had the upper hand on him. I did like that because he poisons Count Dooku at the start of the issue, tells him his life story. And then is like, you need to give me my clone son, or you're gonna die from this poison. And he's like, Jango Fett's like, the antidote is on my ship, and if I die, my ship explodes. And Count Dooku's like, all right, well, I use the Force to, just expulge that's not even a word, remove the poison from my body, and get wrecked, bitch. And he's like, but you're pretty cool, though. So, yeah, you can have your clone son, I guess. And Jango Fett's like, all right, let's kill some Jedi. I also like that when they first meet, they're sitting at opposite ends of a table, and their weapons are in the middle. And Jango, like, force pulls the guns to himself. And Count Dooku's like, bitch, you have the Force? He's like, yeah, it's called magnets, dumbass. I like that. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, no.
Cool stuff in the book. I just wish,
so when
I would have liked more to dive into the stuff that I did like. I think that was my only issue with it.
Yeah, no, that's completely fair, and I realize that a lot, like, reading, because as I said in, like, the previous episode, like, I've seen a bunch of, like, videos on this comic book, and, like, I've read, like, the Wikipedia page for this comic book, like, a million times, because, like, I was just like, this is, like, really cool. And,
it's
like,
a great story.
This comic is part of the reason why, like, Jango's one of my favorite Star Wars characters, because of this book.
It's a good story. It is.
Yeah, and, like, he's really, like, even in, like, the EU, like, he's kind of, like, even compared to, like, how, like, the current canon is very untapped character in terms of, like, potential. I mean, obviously, like, you can just go to, like, Boba Fett or something like that, but, like, again, he got, like, different stories going on, all that. Yeah, I really like this book. Again, I wish it was longer, just to give us some more details on what was going on. And the other thing is, too, Jango has a sister, and they show her. So she actually joins the Vizslas, and that's covered in a different comic book. So that's what I know for sure. But they do actually bring her back. So it's again, that's what I heard. Again, EU lore is like
kind of wonky,
all over the place. So there's a lot of stuff. Yeah, it was a little bit wonky. They did what they wanted to do, and I respect that. But really good comic book. Especially if you're a Star Wars fan, like the prequels, or if you really like Count Dooku as a character. I was surprised at how much Dooku was in this.
Yeah, he bookends every issue.
Yeah.
So he's there.
It's cool. I liked
read this comic.
I liked it.
And but
read
also play Star Wars Bounty Hunter, because Star Wars Bounty Hunter is kind of canon to this, because they show at the start of the issue. Bounty Hunter ends with Dooku finding Jango, and this is about what happens after that. So that's cool.
Yeah, what's funny about that game is that, like, I mean, obviously, like, there's a hierarchy of canon with, like, the EU, and even with, like, the other stuff. It's like at the end of that game, he's like, yeah, I'll take that deal. Just give me a clone son. Then Dooku's like, all right, sure. So, like, that conversation, I guess technically happens twice, but, like,
here's the hierarchy of canon in Marvel, DC, Star Wars, anything. The more expensive it was to make, the more canon it is. Yeah, that's how it is. A video game costs more to make than a comic book. So if the video game says something, the comic says something different, sorry, the video game. A movie probably costs, well, I mean, nowadays, who knows? But, like, back then, movie cost way more than a video game to make. So the fucking movie, that's whatever's more mainstream, I guess is how you put it. But yeah, that's what I say. That I liked it. I enjoyed it. I would like to see, like, a animated something that maybe expanded on it. Season of a show. Yeah,
I was thinking, like, a Tales of the Jedi type of story would be pretty cool. As I said earlier, like, if they still had the crew around, would have loved to see this in the style of, like, an 03 Clone Wars narrative, especially with all the action. Like, I think that's really how you would have been able to do that action scene justice with, like, when he takes out all the Jedi. It would have been really cool. But yeah, no. Any last thoughts on Jango Fett open seasons?
No, I got everything I gotta say. Gave all my notes and everything.
Sweet. All right. I will share the screen for the little wheel.
I need to click on it.
The wheel.
This is how we pick what book we're gonna fucking read next. Let's do this.
Yeah. Oh, and one more thing about open seasons. It's written by the guy that wrote both the game and the comic book adaptation, Star Wars: The Force Unleashed.
That's cool.
Same.
That's cool.
Yeah. So again, that guy knows the stuff. Really fantastic Star Wars storyteller.
Nice. Now let's see what we got in here.
All right, let's spin the wheel.
No, bro.
The Dark Knight strikes
When you put this
again.
in there, I was like, I've read this book, bro. I read this.
Well, now you don't have to read it again. You
no,
can just.
I don't remember it well enough. I just know that I didn't really like it.
That's a crazy pull. Just when we were getting off DC and Batman.
Damn, dude.
Or I'm just curious. Like, I'm gonna spin it again. I mean, we're still doing this comic book, but I'm curious what another option on another Earth would have been.
It just picks it again.
Halloween by Chaos Comics. That would have been interesting. That's like 3 issues.
That's fine.
But yeah. Anyway, so the Dark
Strikes
Knight
again. That's
Strikes
next.
Again.
If you want to read along with us, Dark Knight Strikes Again. We're gonna talk about it next week. Fucking hell, dude.
Yep.
Jesus.
I'm gonna have to tell Brandon this.
Yep.
Yeah, if he's not still dead by then. But yeah, that's crazy. That
was nuts.
Oh, when did that comic book come out again?
Like
if you know off the top
90s,
of your head,
I believe.
Okay,
like
yeah.
99. What a fuck.
Yeah,
fuck
very
you.
Controversial comic.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one way of putting it. That's
least,
one way of putting it. You. I'm trying to look up.
We had to put some good ones on there. We had to put some controversial ones on there.
You're an ass. Oh, 2001. 2001.
What? When in 2000?
I don't end of it because it said 2001 through 2002. So I'm assuming end of 2001.
Okay.
Beginning 2002.
All right, that's all I need to know. So that gives you some indication where Frank Miller was at.
I forgot about that. It was like before or after 9/11.
That gives you a little bit more. I want to ask that specifically. I didn't ask that, just for the record. I did not ask that. I asked when.
Yeah, you're just curious.
But that might give you some context of where Frank Miller.
That event broke his brain for some reason. I mean, not for some reason. Obviously horrible. But like
very horrible.
It made him go crazy. You know. Anyways, before we say anything more controversial, let's end this. Before I say something that sounds like
all right.
like something I don't know. I don't know. That sounded wrong.
This is like the second. Is this the second or third time that we brought up?
Every time I do something, 9/11 comes up. I don't know why. It comes up on everything.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, that was episode 5 of the After Credit Show and episode 7, I believe, of Comic Book Club. If you enjoyed this, please leave a like and leave a comment what you thought of the episode, what your favorite segment was, and really any of your opinions regarding any of the topics. Like, I want to know what you guys think, because comment it, just because then we can talk about it on the next podcast if it's relevant. That's true. It's too. So like, we want to interact, we want to make things fun, and just make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one.